All right, so I had a chance to use these this weekend. I'll show you a video right here. We're running a simple Evolve 50 setup with our booth over here. Now, here's something I'm trying a little different, all right? Today, I'm running wirelessly to our speakers over there, right? So we're using the Phenyx Pro PTU X thinger jigger. We're gonna see how it goes. I've got cables as backup in case I need to, but we are running it wirelessly today because I want to spread the sound out. But yeah, we're gonna give it a shot. I've heard they get about, anything from 4 to 5 hours out of them. That's about the size of our event. So we'll see. We got backup in case we need it. But beautiful event out here, guys. Awesome. Happy to be here. And of course, I'm gonna need my buddy Monster to keep me awake on this one. All right. So what's my take on these things? I liked them. I liked them a lot. I like how they work, how they function. You got the auto scan frequency on this, so they are an RF signal, which I do like. It's very similar to like a wireless lapel microphone. What I'm going through today is not going to be a tutorial. It's more of my experience with this stuff, okay? So what I did notice is we were running about a 20-foot span end-to-end wirelessly. I've got two sets of these units. And we're running left and right speakers out the mains. Now, at 20 feet, they were fine. I had no issues with connectivity. They were doing good, and we were kind of doing like a background, kind of like almost like a cocktail hour kind of vibe for what we're doing this section. And what we noticed there is one would just start cutting out. It was weird. It was just like cut in, cut out, cut in, cut out. And it wasn't like obnoxiously annoying, but it did go out, which obviously we don't want our gear to go out while we're working. I couldn't figure out why. And the weird thing is, I was on stage, and I'll put this video up right here. I was on stage with, I don't know, what was that, about 20 people in front of me, and they're in between the signal, and we didn't have any issues. So I was trying to figure out why that would work there and no issues with everybody dancing on stage, and when nobody's on stage, I was having problems. I think I figured it out. Now, these are RF signals, right? So they're radio frequency signals. I don't know what band they're running. Again, this is not a tutorial on these things. It's just my experience. But I noticed that the camera operator was flying a drone around, right? Now, typically those are on like a Wi-Fi network, but I wonder if it was also a radio frequency network that he was running. Maybe it was a Wi-Fi network for his video signal, so you can see it on his little thing he was controlling it with, and then a radio frequency to actually control the drone. And that's possible. I'm not 100% sure if that was the issue or not. But I only noticed it when he was flying that thing around. Now, I did do the frequency scan with these. You can actually scan frequencies and find the best frequency, which is very cool. And I did that before everyone got there, of course, because you can't do it mid-show. And I found a good frequency. Now, I didn't have my spectrum analyzer with me. I don't even have one. I normally have one on my mic rack that you can kind of go through and look at everything. But I want to get a little handheld ones. Those are awesome. But yeah, I'm wondering if they were running the same frequency on that drone, which would make sense. So, do these have a place and would I use them again? Yeah, I'd use them again. All right, I'm definitely going to use them again. The thing that I'm not going to use them for is for my main speakers. I'm not going to run them as mains again, okay? The reason is this. They worked. They did what they're supposed to do, but I noticed that these were clipping, not my speakers, not my mixer, not my console. These were clipping on certain points, especially through vocals, which is weird. So, you have a microphone and line input on here, so you can change how it's going to be sent out. And of course, microphone line signals are vastly different as far as dB signal going in and out. And if you don't know anything about that, we should definitely learn more. Let me know. I'll make a video on that because that's very important to know. Huge difference there. But I was running line level inputs through these, and I noticed that when the music was playing, normally if I had a wire running, it would have been a lot louder at the levels I had on my mixer and on my console and everything, right? It normally would have been a lot louder. So I think there's some decibel loss in these. I did have to boost up the mixer more than I normally do to get higher volume out the 50s. Now I had these on my Evolve 50s, which I love. They're great speakers. And I know them very well. I know the kind of volume that I can get out of them. And they just weren't awesome. All right, so they just weren't getting that volume that we wanted, right? So yeah, so that was kind of weird. So I brought them back down to Unity where I normally run everything, and again, it was kind of quiet. The weird thing is, where I had everything set, I jump on the microphone, do an announcement, get the crowd moving, things like that. But my vocals were clipping, which was weird because everything was set normally how I always do in my mixer. I know how to run gain structure, I know how to run compression, I know how to run all that stuff. It works normally perfect for me. But I was clipping with my vocals, which was odd. Now, I don't know if the crowd heard it, but once you know your equipment, you know exactly how thing's supposed to sound. And yeah, it was getting some weird distortion over there. So that was kind of odd. I figured out, I was running some music, kind of playing around with this, and figured this out. My console, my actual mixing console, it's a Rev 1 is what I use. That was not peaking. My mixer, which is a Mackie Onyx 8, that was not peaking. And I was running the app on my phone there for the Evolve 50s. You can watch those, see if those are peaking. None of those were peaking, but the actual volume output, you can hear distortion. So I think that these right here actually have some kind of signal loss where these were actually distorting. All right, kind of weird, you know. So I don't know how these all work. I don't know the inside and out of these damn things. But I think these were peaking. So would I use them again? Yes. Oh, geez, step on stuff. Would I use them again? Yes, I absolutely will use them again. But again, not for my mains. Okay, which I think these will shine better are for satellite speakers. Things that doesn't need a lot of volume, doesn't need a lot of sound, and just more of a sound reinforcement for other applications. For example, we run a lot of outdoor events and that are just kind of like background music. We're not really DJing. We're not bringing the big concert sound stuff out. We're putting a couple 12s on sticks and just letting them fly. I mean, easy day, right? I think this will work good there. I really do. Now, I've tested the distance on this. The problem is you can't really test it in real world scenarios, but I tested it in the shop here, and I got about 100 feet out of these things, which is pretty good. But of course, in the real world, you got cell phone signals and people and all kinds of stuff, so you don't want to really rely on that. Typically for an actual long run or something I really need to make sure I get good quality audio, I'll run a wireless lapel in reverse and make that happen, which has worked great. You've seen that in some of my videos. I'll put that guy somewhere up here. That was a really cool show we did, and it worked out really good. I wouldn't trust these for that kind of application though. So it depends on how you're going to use them. You know your equipment, know them well, and you know, the more you know about your stuff, the better you can deploy it to do the job it needs. So in review, Phenyx Pro, what are these things? PTU X transmitters. Again, I've got 2 of these things. They're okay. They're not bad. All right. They're not the greatest. I'm not going to run them on my mains again. But I have other ideas for this. Now, here's the weird thing about this. Check this out. So I was running these to my main speakers, right? So running the main volume out. I also had a little Everse 8 that I used for a monitor for myself. Now, on that monitor, I was working the X5U3, this little guy right here. There we go, right there, right? Now, with this, it didn't ever cut out. Never cut out, right? If this doesn't have a frequency scan, you just change the channel right there and you roll. Kind of interesting. So I was wondering if these are running maybe different frequencies, different channels, but this one never cut out on me, which is surprising. And if you guys know me, I'm a big Phenyx Pro fan. That box right there has got the big PTAU, the brand new microphones. They're amazing. I love their microphones. I use their microphones for ceremonies, for satellite speakers like we just talked about. So I really like the product. However, I'm not so happy about these. So again, know your equipment, do it well. All right, guys, take care. If you guys want to learn anything new, let me know. Drop it in the comments below. I'll be happy to help. Take care, guys.